Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Mr. Brique. Welcome to Atlanta by Drive. Just a quick note before we get moving. I'm driving, focused on the road. All filming you see is done from the passenger seat. Today we're taking a slow drive through a few Atlanta neighborhoods, just observing the city as it unfolds. Before the drive got underway, we made a quick coffee stop worth mentioning. The Yardie, a spiked ginger beer, and a plantain matcha will definitely be coming back for, both from Coffee Was Black. While we were sipping, we noticed the space next door and stepped inside. The Hagerbrook's Art Gallery. Long before it became an art gallery, the building was a family owned funeral home. The videographer grew up in Atlanta, and this was one of the first funeral homes her mother worked with after they moved here. She remembers coming here as a child. Her seeing it now, reimagined but still standing, feels like Atlanta honoring its past while moving forward. With coffee in hand, we stepped back outside and began our first neighborhood drive starting in Buckhead. As we make our way toward Buckhead, the transition starts before you ever turn onto a residential street. The skyline thins out, the lanes stretch wider. You can feel the city easing its grip just a little. Buckhead sits slightly apart from the rest of Atlanta. Not disconnected, just intentional. It's close to everything, but it doesn't rush to announce itself. This part of the drive is always a reminder that Atlanta isn't one single rhythm. It changes block by block, mile by mile. And Buckhead has always moved to its own tempo. Once you're inside the neighborhood, the character becomes clear. Buckhead is known for being established, residential, and quietly confident. Many of these streets have been here for generations, and it shows in the way that the homes sit back from the road, framed by mature trees and long driveways. You'll see a wide range of architecture here. Older homes that have been maintained carefully, renovated, or expanded over time, alongside newer builds that lean modern but still respect the scale of the neighborhood. Real estate in Buckhead remains some of the most consistent in the city. Prices vary significantly depending on the pocket, but this is an area where property tends to hold value. Buyers here are often thinking long term. This isn't a place that was built on quick flips or quick turnover. What draws people to Buckhead isn't just the size of the homes, it's the balance. You're minutes from shopping, dining, schools, and major highways. Yet many of these streets feel insulated from the noise of the city. There's a strong sense of routine here as well. Morning walks, family roots, neighbors who've lived on the same street long enough to recognize each other by car rather than by face. Just as everywhere else in Atlanta, development continues, but it moves carefully. Older homes are updated, new construction blends in more than it stands out. There's an unspoken understanding that Buckhead's character is part of its value. As we travel through the streets, notice how calm it feels. Even with the larger homes and higher price points, there's still a softness here. Space between the houses, space between moments, even. This is Buckhead as it stands today, established, evolving, and still very much its own world within Atlanta. And here we are at Castleberry Hill. It's one of Atlanta's oldest neighborhoods, and it wears that history openly. Originally developed in the late 1800s, this area functioned as an industrial hub tied to Atlanta's railways. Warehouses, brick storefronts, and manufacturing spaces defined the neighborhood long before it became residential. Over time, those same structures were adapted rather than erased. Many of the original buildings still stand, now reimagined as lofts, gallery studios, and Black-owned businesses. That continuity is a big part of Castleberry Hill's identity. The vibe here is creative, urban, and unpolished in a way that feels intentional. This has long been a neighborhood for artists, entrepreneurs, and people drawn to spaces with character rather than uniformity. The real estate here reflects that mix. You'll find loft-style condos, townhomes, and smaller residential pockets woven in between commercial buildings. The appeal here is less about size and more about texture. Brick walls, exposed beams, walkability, and a sense of place. Community matters here. Castleberry Hill has maintained a strong neighborhood presence through change, with residents who are invested in preserving the area's cultural and architectural roots. As we continue through the neighborhood, notice how close everything feels. Buildings sit nearer to the road. History feels closer to the surface. Compared to Buckhead, the scale tightens and the energy shifts. Castleberry Hill doesn't try to be quiet or grand. It's expressive, grounded, and deeply tied to Atlanta's creative past. This is a neighborhood that has found a way to evolve without losing its character, its edge, or its soul. We're now back in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is one of Atlanta's oldest historically black neighborhoods. It was established in the late 1800s by formerly enslaved people and black laborers who built homes, churches, and businesses here, creating community long before the city expanded around it. As we travel through the neighborhood, you can see the history layered into the streets. Older homes that have stood for generations sitting alongside new construction. Longtime residents and new investments share the same blocks. This is a neighborhood that has experienced some disinvestment, but it has done so while maintaining its identity. Most families have stayed. Community ties remain strong. Pittsburgh has always been shaped by the people that live here. In recent years, Pittsburgh has been part of broader redevelopment efforts, with new housing, infrastructure improvements, and renewed attention from the city. At the same time, there's an ongoing focus on equity and making sure long-term residents can remain part of the neighborhood's future. What tends to stand out most here is the juxtaposition. Modern homes next to modern builds, quiet streets alongside active construction. Pittsburgh is not frozen in time, but it hasn't lost a sense of place. There's a resilience here, a feeling that this neighborhood knows where it's been, even as it figures out where it's going. While cruising down University Avenue, we decided to pull into Pittsburgh Yards, a community-focused space built to support local entrepreneurs, makers, and small businesses. The goal here is simple: invest in the neighborhood and create opportunity that stays local. It represents a different kind of development, one that is meant to grow with the community, not over it. As we wrap up the drive, let's review a little bit. We've traveled through 3 different parts of Atlanta: Buckhead, Castleberry Hills, and Pittsburgh. Different histories, different energy, one city, layered and evolving. This has been Atlanta by Drive. Thanks for riding along.